Maharaj. All glories to assembled devotees here. This is Nina from Naperville, Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. This is Sita Priti Devdasi from Pune.
Hare Krishna, Sita Priti Mataji, Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raga.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vraj Bhakti Devidasi from Columbus, Ohio.
Hare Krishna, Vraj Bhakti Mataji, Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Radharani Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled Devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. This is all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani from Krishna Katha Desh.
Hare Krishna, Shiromani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. This is Flavia from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I heard, is this your first time joining, Mataji?
This is Flavia from Atlanta. I've been on the call many times.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for giving your association. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Geeta from Texas.
Hare Krishna, Geeta Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Niharika Mataji. This is Kamaliki Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and all the assembled devotees. This is Dinabani Gurudas and Lalita Devi Dasi from Sandy Ridge.
Hare Krishna, Lalita Mataji and Dinabandhu Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, shall we record? Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji. Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, verse 19 onwards. Before that, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji was born in Mysore in a Madhva Brahmin family in 1973. Brought up in Andhra Pradesh in a very orthodox family where he developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God's creation. Prabhuji passed out of Marine Engineering Research Institute in Calcutta in 1994. It is there in the college as a cadet that he came in touch with the devotees of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He found that all his unanswered questions were completely satisfied in the books of Srila Prabhupada. As an engineering student, he studied Bhagavad Gita 5 times and mastered the Gaudiya Vaishnava Vedanta philosophy in a short period of 2 years and was initiated into the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. He joined the Merchant Navy as an engineering officer and worked for 3 years. During this time, he felt the urge to teach the message of Gita to children and youth who are misguided by consumerism. So he gave up his lucrative job and joined ISKCON Mira Road, where he was promoted as the vice president within 1 year. And he is currently the co-president of ISKCON Mira Road. He is also a visiting professor at MS University for Management and Social Work faculties, and also conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. His only concern is that the children and youth should understand the moral and spiritual values as enunciated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and he has dedicated his life to this cause. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Tiffany Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association with us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhuji, please take for the call now, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishchiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, verse number 19. Tvam to abjanabha angrihi saroja osha durga ashritaha nirjita satsapatna Bhungshva iha bhogan purusha adishtan vimukta sangraha prakritim bhajasva. Tam tvabjanavangri sarojatosha Tvabjanavangri saroto nirtatnaha Durga Shrito Nirjita Satsapatnaha भुङ्क्ष्वेव भोगान् पुरुषादितादिष्टान् विमुक्तसङ्गा प्रकृतिं भजस्व विमुक्तसङ्गा प्रकृतिं भजस्व त्वं त्वाब्जनाभाङ्घ्रिसरोजकोश दुर्गाश्रितो निर्जितसत्सपत्नः पुङ्क्ष्वेष्वेह भोगान् पुरुषादिष्टान् विमुक्तसङ्गा प्रकृतिं भजस्व. Word to word meaning: Tvam, yourself; Tu, then; Abjanabha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose navel is like the lotus flower; Angri, feet; Saroja, lotus; Kosha, hole; Durga, the stronghold; Ashrita, having taken shelter of; Nirjita, conquered; Sat Sapatna, Bhungshu, the six enemies; Bhungshva, enjoy; Iha, in this material world; Bhogan, enjoy things; Purusha, by the Supreme Person; Adhishthan, extraordinarily ordered; Vimukta, liberated; Sangaha, from material association; Prakritim, constitutional position; Bhajasva, enjoy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma continued, O my dear Priyavrata, seek shelter inside the opening, the lotus feet of the Lord, whose navel is also like a lotus. Thus conquer the six sense organs, the mind and the knowledge acquiring senses. Accept material enjoyment because the Lord extraordinarily has ordered you to do this. You will thus always be liberated from material association and be able to carry out the Lord's order in your constitutional position. Purport: there are three kinds of men within this material world. Those who are trying to enjoy the senses to the utmost are called the karmis. Above them are the jnanis, who try to conquer the urges of the senses. Above them are the gopis, who have already conquered the senses. None of them, however, are situated in a transcendental position. Only devotees who belong to none of the above mentioned groups are transcendental. As explained in the Bhagavad Gita, Mam chayo vipcharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samadityetan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. The Lord Brahma herein advises Priyavrata to remain transcendental in the fortress not of family life, but of the lotus feet of the Lord. Abja Navangri Saroja. When a bumblebee enters the opening of the lotus flower and drinks its honey, it is fully protected by the petals of the lotus. The bee is undisturbed by sunshine and other external influences. Similarly, one who always seeks shelter at the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead is protected from all dangers. It is therefore said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shritaye padavallavam mahat padam punya yasho murare Bambudir vatsapadam param padam 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 yattipadam natesham. For one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, everything becomes easier. Indeed, even crossing the great ocean of nescience, Bhavambudhi, is exactly like crossing the footprint created by a calf. Every step is dangerous. Our actual duty is to carry out the supreme order, the personality of Godhead. If we fix in our determination to carry out the supreme order of the Lord, we are always secure, regardless of where we are situated, whether in hell or in heaven. Herein the words Prakritim Bhajasva are very significant. Prakritim refers to one's constitutional position. Every living entity has a constitutional position of being an eternal servant of Lord. Therefore, Lord Brahma advised Priyavrata, be situated in our original position as an eternal servant of the Lord. If you carry out his orders, you will never fail, never fall, even in the midst of material enjoyment. Material enjoyment achieved by the dint of one's fruitive activity differs from material enjoyment given by the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, a devotee is never affected by material influences. The devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement are preaching all over the world in accordance to the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They have to meet many karmis, but by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are unaffected by material influences. He has blessed them as described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kabuna bhadibe tumara vishay toranga, punarapi ye thani pabe mora sangha. A sincere devotee who engages in the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by preaching his cult all over the world will never be affected by Vishaya Taranga, material influences. On the contrary, in the due course of time, he will return to the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and will thus have perpetual association with him. Omagyanvirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuron Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tapsajiva Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Shivishakaanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Very interesting section going on in the Bhagavatam. Fifth canto starts with a very interesting section. That is Brahma and before Brahma, Manu, trying to preach to Priyavrata to get married or to come back to the kingdom, take care of the kingdom, enjoy the kingdom. Now, we always find that when we preach Krishna consciousness, especially the youth preaching in India, we, when we go to the colleges and get few boys to programs, we just talk about one thing. This world is a miserable place. Getting married is the worst thing which you can ever do in your life. And women, just imagine, they are like, they suck your blood in the morning in the form of sweat, in the night in the form of semen. So it's very horrible. Just see how people are suffering because of women and this money and this jobs and business. Just shave off. So the kind of preaching which Narada does, and IYF, that is the ISKCON youth firm, especially in India, I don't know about the West, we are into this full-fledged hardcore preaching of Krishna consciousness. That's Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Just give up this house. Ma, your mother, Ma is Maya, and your father is actually another person who is just working whole day and night just to maintain the house. Do you want to become like him or what? So ultimately, he lands up in the ashram. Few people land up in the ashram. But now in the Bhagavatam, we find a section like this, where Priyavrata is now renounced in the forest doing tapasya. There's no king because practically the half of Manvantara has gone. Daksha was reborn as a son of the Prachetas, and he wanted to regain his lost hours. So he went to the forest to do tapasya. Then Manu, he went and tried to convince Priyavrata, please come back, take care of the kingdom. He said no. Then Manu had to tell Brahma, and Brahma came. Now Brahma is talking these verses. He's saying first, I am not talking on my behalf. I am talking on the behalf of Krishna. Whatever I am saying, it is the order of Krishna. And everybody has to follow the orders of God. That is real renunciation. It is not that by your own austerity, by your own power, you define what is renunciation, what is austerity, and then you do it by which you try to attain God. It is not possible. Attaining Krishna is only possible by following his orders. And you should follow his orders. What is that order? That you should come back, become the king, get married. So this is what is the instruction. Now, Brahma is logically trying to convince Priyavrata. Oh, Priyavrata, I know that there are three kinds of people are there in this world. One of those who are without sense control. Number two are those who they have sense control. And number three, those who are desire to control the senses. Now, those who don't have sense control, they can enter household life. And those who have sense control also can enter the household life. Those who don't have sense control, if they don't get into household life, they'll become dogs and create a havoc in the society. So at least not to create havoc in the society, they should get married and be in household life. Because that household life will become a fort for them. And now there are second kind of people. Who are they? They are who have controlled the senses. For them, if they get into the household life, they are not affected at all by the household life with the woman, the money, and all the power and everything. And the third kind of people are there who want to control the senses. Those who actually want to control the senses, for them also, my dear Priyavrata, the best place where you can control your senses is in the household life. Because by controlling the senses, gradually, by enjoying and controlling, one day intelligent person, he gradually stops enjoying the senses, and then he can conquer the enemies, his senses. So that is how the entire household life is being designed. Because the purpose of the Grihastha Ashrama is to get out of it. The purpose of entering the Grihastha Ashrama is to get out of the Grihastha Ashrama. And it is like entering into the bathroom, applying the soap. And ultimately what you do with the soap? You use the soap to clean the body, but it is not to apply the soap and come back. Grihastha Ashrama is like applying the soap. And then you put water and give up the soap also and come. You apply the soap to give up the soap. The same way, to enter into the Grihastha Ashrama, to get out of it. So there are three kinds of people. That is what is described in the previous words. Three kinds of people. Now, Brahma says, Priyavrata, my dear Priyavrata, you are none of those three kinds of people, because you are transcendental to all these three kinds of people. That is why I say Tvam tu. Tvam means you too, but you are different. Your case is totally different. You're not coming among these ordinary three kinds of people, not controlled senses, have controlled senses, or neither you are in the category of desiring to control senses. Because Abjanavangri Saroja Kocha, you have taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, and you have taken shelter of the Lord who has a lotus navel. That is how the Lord's feet is compared to lotus, and the navel is also compared to lotus. Now, what you have done? Durga Shrido Nirjita Shat Sabatna. Durga Shrita. You are taken shelter of Durga. Yeah, Durga means a household life, a fort. But your life is not like that. An ordinary householder who has taken shelter. Were you taking shelter of a household life and conquering the senses is of different category altogether. Of a different category altogether. Why? Because these sense enjoyment, what is being offered to you, which I am telling to accept, is given to you by the Lord. It is a prasad of Krishna. If somebody thinks the prasad of Krishna, since it is opulent, I am an austere person, I don't want to take it. That is the biggest offense. It seems to be Vairagya, but it is Falgu Vairagya. So here, all the devotees, they should know these two verses, which talks about two kinds of Vairagya, two kinds of renunciation. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, he clearly mentions these two verses, coined by himself. He himself coined these two verses to talk about what is the Vairagya which we are supposed to accept, and what is the Vairagya which we are supposed to reject. Now, there are certain things, certain Vairagyas, certain renunciations which are not favorable for Krishna consciousness. That is described here. Prapanchikataya buddhaya harisambandhi vastuna mumukshavi parityago vairagyam falgu katyate. It is very nice to memorize this verse. So this verse talks about, now very interesting words are there in this verse. That is, prapanchikataya buddhaya. When your buddhi or intelligence is prapanchikataya, means having a materialistic idea about Krishna sambandhi vastuna, of things which are connected to Krishna, or things which are sent by Krishna to you, like Mahaprasad. You have a Rasgulla, very nice, wonderful Rasgulla. Mahaprasad, somebody says, Prabhuji, Mahaprasad. No, these days I don't eat sweets. So this is Mahaprasad, this is not a sweet. So you have prapanchikataya buddhaya, materialistic ideology or materialistic vision of a transcendental thing. So matter is Maya when it is not connected to Krishna. When Krishna himself is offering to you, then that is no more matter, that is spiritual. But thinking that to be matter, that this is Maya, this is matter is Maya, that is the biggest offense. And that is called Falgu Vairagya. Prapanchikataya hari sambandhi vastuna mumukshubi parityagaha. You give up because it is material. I want to do tapasya. And that kind of Vairagya is Falgu Vairagya. And that is because that leads a person for Mayavad philosophy. Mayavad philosophy says that Maya is in matter, but the Vaishnava philosophy says Maya is not in matter, but Maya is in your perception of matter, is in your perception, is in your vision. Like you have a beautiful girl. This beautiful girl is not Maya. You having a very bad eyes towards that girl for sense enjoyment, that is Maya. There's nothing wrong in the beauty of this world. There's nothing wrong in the Aishwarya or the opulence of this world. Everything is Krishna's. But not having such a vision is the problem. Not having such a vision is the problem. You may say that, oh, anyhow matter, padam padam vipadam. Yes, padam padam vipadam is for those people who are trying to be Krishna conscious. But for those who are Krishna conscious, for them, Goloka Jedinna Bhajana Deki Grehate Goloka Bhai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, on the day when I see bhajan is going on in my house is no more my house. It is Goloka itself. So this is the vision. So Maya is not in the object. Maya is in our perception, is in our vision. So this world or the kingdom which Brahma is trying to convince Priyavrata to rule over, Brahma is telling, oh Priyavrata, this is Krishna Prasad. They are all given to you by Krishna. This is not coming to you by your karma. Somebody may get opulence by their karma, but somebody gets opulence by Krishna, Krishna's mercy. So one who gets opulence by karma, you should be very careful about it. This opulence is going to destroy you. On the other hand, there are certain opulences in this world which are actually given by Krishna for the devotees to enjoy. If the devotees don't enjoy that opulence, then what happens? That it becomes an offense. So how do the devotees enjoy? By this process, by Yukta Vairagya. What is the definition of Yukta Vairagya? Definition of Yukta Vairagya is simple. That is, anasaktasya vishyan yatarho upayunjataha nirbandhana krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. Very interesting. This is yuktam vairagyam. Other vairagya was what? Other was a falgu. Falgu comes, the word Hindi word faltu comes from the word falgu. And there's a river called Falgu river. It is useless. The meaning of the word falgu is useless. Why this river is called useless? Because in this river there is only sand. The water is covered by the sand. That is why it is called Falgu, Falgu Nadi. On the other side, there is one more Vairagya called Yukta Vairagya. If you want to summarize the entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness, you just have to use these two words, Yukta Vairagya. That's all. The entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness summarized in these two words, Yukta Vairagya. What is the meaning of Yukta Vairagya? Anasaktasya. The first qualification of Yukta Vairagya is Anasakta. Like Priyavrata. He was Anasakta. He was not at all interested, detached. Towards what? Vishayan. Anasakta Vishayan. So he has practiced half part of Yukta Vairagya, that is detached from matter. But now Brahma is telling that is not enough. If you want to practice complete Yukta Vairagya, you should Yatharho Payunjataha. You should engage. Engage those matter, the material capacities what we have in service of Krishna in a detached mode. You should enjoy in a detached mood. Enjoyment in a detached mood. How is it? This is Krishna consciousness. If somebody is able to understand how to enjoy in a detached mode, that person is a perfect devotee. Perfect devotee. Now, very interestingly, Srila Prabhupada, in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in the text number 64, he speaks a very interesting point. And everybody can actually contemplate on this particular verse. That is second chapter, text number 64, where Krishna is answering Arjuna's question that how does his Sita Prajna walk? How does he walk? And there are 4 questions asked by Arjuna. Sita Prajnascha ka bhasha, kim bhasheta, kimasita, prajeta kim. Prajeta means how does he walk? So in that, starting with how does he walk, he says, Raga dvesha vimuktaistu Vishayan indriyaicharan atmavasher vidheyatma prasadam adhigachati. Now, if you see the last line of the purport, so there, Srila Prabhupada says, this Krishna consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of he being attached to the sensual platform. What is the meaning of this? If you're attached to the sensual platform, how can you be Krishna conscious? Now, we should know this here attachment to Krishna, the essential platform means that you are engaging the senses, sense objects, and all the capacities what you have, tendencies what you have, propensities what you have in Krishna's service. This is called Krishna consciousness. Now here, in the same verse, somebody may think, matter is problem, wife is problem, oh, job is problem, house is problem. This is all Maya. Now here Krishna says, no, that is not the problem. The problem is Raga and Dvesha. Raga and Dvesha. So just because you are averse to something or somebody, that doesn't mean you are renounced. Renunciation has nothing to do with aversion. Renunciation has nothing to do with aversion. Just because I hate my wife, that doesn't mean I'm renounced from my wife. If hating your wife is renunciation, then divorce is sannyas. Divorce is no sannyas. So here we should know very well. Just because I don't like something, just because I hate somebody or something, that doesn't mean I have detachment. Hatred is no detachment. Aversion is no detachment. Neither attachment is. Attachment and detachment. These two are attraction and repulsion. These two are two sides of the same coin called attachment. When you are attached to somebody, there are two things. One side there is attraction, other is repulsion. I hate you means this is an expression of your negative attachment. Oh, I love you is an expression of your positive attachment. So many times people think that I hate someone, that means I'm detached from it. Hating is no detachment. So raga and dvesha are the problem. Love is also a problem, hate is also a problem. Now, the Vishayan Indriyescharan, what does Krishna say? Now you engage your senses with the sense objects. How we should engage? Atmavasher vidhe atma. Now in this verse, the word vidhe atma is very significant. Now here, Srila Prabhupada translates this word vidhe atma as one who follows regulative freedom or regulative principles of freedom, controlling the senses according to the regulative principles of freedom. If you see the translation, but a person free from attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom. What a word it is. This kind of translation of the phrase of Videyatma can only be done by Srila Prabhupada. It's beyond any literary or philosophical imagination to coin such a phrase for this word Videyatma. Now, somebody may say, if there is freedom, how can there be regulation? Regulation means no freedom. If there's freedom, means no regulation. Like the youth and the children, they say, we want to be free. Don't preach to us. Don't put any regulations. We just want to do what comes into our mind. Whatever comes to your mind, we do. That is called freedom. Freedom means I can go anywhere, I can walk anywhere, I can talk anywhere, I can eat anything, I can do anything. That is called freedom. That is what people think. But it is wrong. That is not the definition of freedom. The definition of freedom is you follow the rules. Only by following the rules you can become free. Bondage is because of breaking the rules, and freedom is because of following the rules. But the materialistic definition these days, the young generation, they think breaking the rules is freedom. It is not. Breaking the rules is not freedom. I'll give you a small example. You have your car. You can drive your car anywhere in America. You are free to drive your car anywhere in America. When can you do that? When you follow the traffic rules. If you don't follow the traffic rules, you are bound, you are put in jail, your car is seized by the police. It is a very simple formula. The more rules you follow, or the more strictly you follow the rules, the more free you are. This is called intelligence. This is called Krishna consciousness. The people these days have no idea of what is the meaning of freedom. If you really want to be free, then you just have to practice the principles, rules. Now you say, no, we want to enjoy. Even if you want to enjoy matter, you have to follow rules. But this young generation, they don't know how to enjoy also. That is why they are only suffering on the name of enjoyment. They just go out and make girlfriend and boyfriends, thinking that we are free society, we can do anything, and suffer and suffer and suffer. The kind of emotional suffering these days the youth, the young boys and girls have, it is tremendous. They are committing suicide. They are why? Because they think that breaking rules makes me free, or no rules make me free. But actually, it is exactly opposite. The more you follow the rules, the more you are free. The more you follow the rules, or perfectly follow the rules, the more you enjoy. How? Give you a small example. I like to give this example for the children and the youth because they understand these things properly. Ice cream. Suppose somebody wants to enjoy an ice cream. Now what they should do? There are rules to eat an ice cream. You cannot just take the scoop and put it in your mouth and start chewing it, gulping it. You will suffer that ice cream. You can only suffer the ice cream if you don't follow the rules of eating the ice cream. There are certain rules which govern matter, and those rules were set up by Krishna because Krishna created this matter. So by following the rules of matter set up by Krishna, what happens is we enjoy matter. When we break the rules and try to enjoy, we don't enjoy matter, we suffer matter. So matter is a cause of suffering for a person who doesn't follow the rules set up by Krishna. And the matter actually can be enjoyed when you follow the rules set up by Krishna. What to speak of even an ice cream? Even a play. Somebody wants to play football or cricket. The rules you follow, then you can enjoy the game. I'm just giving you a different example just to show that Vidheyatma, whether you want to be free or you want to enjoy. Actually, you can enjoy when you're free. You cannot enjoy when you're bound. For example, you have a nice, wonderful plate of so many wonderful dishes, what you like, and your hands are bound and your mouth is tied up. What is the use? So first is freedom and then enjoyment. And that can come only when we follow the rules. And what is prerequisite for that? Raga, Dvesha, Muktaistu. Neither raga nor attraction, Dvesha nor repulsion. Neutrality with matter. That is the first objective for every devotee, to enjoy matter and enjoy spirit. If you really want to enjoy Krishna consciousness in this world, being surrounded by all material things, first attain neutrality with matter. That is what Krishna is emphasizing again and again in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Like the verses like this. Samadukka Sukham Dhiram Somrutatvaya Kalpa. The first instruction is this. Matras Prashasti Kaunteya Sita Ushna Sukha Dukkhada Agama Nitya Ditikshasa Bharata. Until unless you learn tolerance, we cannot be Krishna conscious. We can neither enjoy spirit nor matter. Tolerance means you have reached the level of neutrality with matter. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochadina Kankshati Na Kavushet Prem Prapya No Dvijet Prapya Cha Priyam Sarabuddhirasam Modo Brahma Vid Brahmani Sitam Sitoshta Sututeshta Mana Manayo. So many places Krishna is actually talking about achieve neutrality with matter, because matter is not the cause of your problem. The problem is your consciousness. Raga and Dvesha is your problem. Attachment, attraction, repulsion is the problem. So this understanding one should have. That is why Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita says, the qualification for a devotee, or to become a devotee, or practice pure devotional service, is neutrality with matter. He should be neither too attached nor too detached. If he's too attached, there is no time for Krishna consciousness. If he's too detached, Katinyaha, Hridaya Katinyaha, these are the words used by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Heart becomes Katinaha. And Swabhaviki Bhakti Lakshanam, Rudutvam Bhakti Lakshanam. The nature of bhakti is, by nature, it is Rudu. It is very soft, it is very Komala. How can that bhakti enter a hard-hearted person's heart? And that is why Rupa Goswami, he goes to give around 28 verses from the Bhagavatam and other scriptures to prove that desire for liberation or a kind of aversion to matter is more dangerous than attraction to matter. Mukti is more dangerous than bhukti. Mukti means liberation. I just don't want anything. Because by saying don't want anything, you'll say, no, I don't want Mahaprasad also. If somebody says, why don't you do seva? Oh, a lot of problem is there. I don't want to do seva. Vimukhat. No, Krishna Bhakti is there. Let us come to Kirtan. Kirtan and all. No. I want to hear the verses of the Upanishad and I will do austerity. Just see. It's hard. A heart becomes very hard. So that is why Rupa Goswami says that neither one should be too attached, not too detached. That is what here Brahma, Lord Brahma is telling Priyavrata, oh my dear Priyavrata, that Bhungshve Shvabhogan Purusadita Purusha Atidistan. The Lord has given you this enjoyment. So enjoy, don't reject it. It is Krishna who is telling you, take this enjoyment. That enjoyment will not create bondage to you. Enjoyment given by Krishna will not create bondage. Don't be afraid of it. Oh, I may become bound. No, because it is enjoyment given by Krishna, and he has given you because he knows that you are going to use the entire material facility of the king of the kingdom in his service. Sometimes people ask, Dhruva Maharaj to go back to Krishna. But Krishna gave him, you rule the kingdom. Prahlad Maharaj spoke beautiful verses on the pure devotional service and total vairagya. If Krishna asked, Narasimha asked, what do you want? He said, I don't want anything. Do you think I'm a vanika? I'm a businessman? I ask something from you for what I have done to you? Such Prahlad Maharaj, Narasimha says, you rule the kingdom. Why is it so? Because Krishna wants to test his devotees. Not only he wants to test his devotees, he also wants to declare to the entire world, see the greatness of my devotee. Now, what is the test of the devotee? That is, in spite of being in the midst of material enjoyment, he is not attracted to it. I want to test it. I want to test the sweetness of his devotion. That is, I give him the entire world for him to enjoy, but he's not cared, he's not bothering about it. He's just thinking of me. He's not thinking about me. He's not thinking about anything. I want to taste that sweetness. I want to put my devotee in the test of how he's going to deal with matter, and I want to experience the sweetness of the devotion which the devotee has to. Sometimes the mother would tell the daughter, go and cook. So she's testing. And in the test, the mother gets some kind of enjoyment. Krishna gets that enjoyment by seeing the devotee's devotion has conquered Maya. He wants to see and experience the sweetness of devotion, the power of devotion in the heart of the devotee. At the same time, after seeing this, Krishna experiencing the greatness of the devotee, devotion in the heart of a devotee, he shows to the entire world, all you people, just see my devotee. How great is he? Like that, Krishna, he tested the prema of the gopis. The gopis gave up everything and surrendered to Krishna. Krishna told, why did you come here? Go back. Pratyata, Rajam, Nahyam steya. Don't stay here. Go back. The gopis did not go back. He tested the prema of the gopis. And Krishna tested the dharma of Arjuna, dharmanishta of Arjuna. He told Arjuna, oh, you see, you have promised Draupadi that you are going to kill Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama, yeah, you should kill. Yudhishthira told, don't kill. Bhima says, kill. Krishna is telling, kill. And Arjuna is in Dharma Sankat. Arjuna, what did it? He shaved Ashwatthama's head. It is as good as killing and also not killing. Krishna was very happy. And Arjuna did not listen to what I said. And he is testing Arjuna's Dharmanishta. Krishna tested prema of gopis. Krishna tests Dhruva Maharaj's undeviated devotion. The same way here, Priyavrata also. Krishna wants to show to the entire world, look at Priyavrata, that I gave the kingdom to him. And he ruled the kingdom perfectly. At the same time, his devotion did not go down an inch, but it rather increased. It increased. That is speciality. So, Srila Prabhupada quotes a beautiful words from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita is a perfect instruction for all devotees, the Grahastha devotees in our movement, especially the instruction which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the Kurma Brahmana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Kurma Kshetra. We know Kurma Kshetra is a very beautiful place in Andhra Pradesh, in the coastal Andhra Pradesh. You get down at Srikakulam, and from there you go there. There you find this beautiful deity of Kurma. The Pujari also said, to confirm the same thing, that this Kurma deity is the only Kurma deity, the entire planet. There's only one Kurma deity. It is not at many places. Of course, there are some places they say, but I have not found those places. There, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. Then he went there, he met a Kurma Brahmana. And this Kurma Brahmana, he welcomed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when in South Indian tour, he used to stay in the Brahmins' houses. And then he's a great Vaishnava. What happened? He invited him. He washed the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, fed him nicely, gave prasad to all his house, his family members. Then Guru Brahman started saying, he said, Mora bhagyara sima nae kahna ajimora lagahaila janma danya. Janma Kula Dhana. You, O Lord, you came to our house. Mora Bhagyara Sima na aayega. My Bhagya Sima, the extent of my fortune, I don't know. Aji Mora Shlagya Haila Janma Kula. My Janma, my birth, my Kula, my family, my wealth, it has become Dhanya. It has become fortunate. Kripa Kara Mora, Prabhu Mora, Yaha Tumhara Sange. I have one request. Please, by mercy, just you take me along with you. I'll just be your servant. Wherever you go, I'll also come along with you. I'll also become a sannyasi. Sahitena pare dukkha vishaya tarange. I'm not able to tolerate the dukkha vishaya taranga, the waves of misery in this world. I'm household affairs. Everywhere there's money, women, children. I'm just completely frustrated with that. I just don't want, I want to get out of this horrible household affairs. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard and told Purna Brahmana, Prabhu kahe, aiche baat khabu na kahiba. Don't speak like this again anymore. Griha rahi, Krishna nama nirantara laiba. You stay in the house. Griha rahi. And what to do? Krishna nama nirantara laiba. You take the name of Krishna always, constantly. Then he gave the most famous instruction, which everybody knows. And this instruction to preach Krishna consciousness was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not to the brahmacharis, not to the sannyasis. He gave it to the grahastha, the Kurma Brahmana, who wanted to take sannyas, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you should not. You should stay in the house. And he said, Yara dekha, tarakaha, Krishna upadesh, amaragnya, guruhana tare desh. On my order, you become a guru. Tare desh. So, Srila Prabhupada says, this is a sublime mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Many people come to inquire whether they have to give up their family life to join them. But that is not our mission. Our mission is not this, that we give up our family life and just come to the matha. That is not our mission. Our mission, one can remain comfortably in his residence. We simply request everyone to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And then, what you do? You just, Yaradako Tareka Krishna Upadesh. Just preach. You become Guru. Actually, every grahastha should become a Guru. In the Smritis, it is described, only grahasthas can become Gurus. It's a fact. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told anybody can become a Guru. But according to Smritis, only grahasthas can become. Because Guru means to deal with women, to deal with children, deal with family. And how a sannyasi can do all these things? He cannot do it perfectly. Even if he does, it is dangerous for him and dangerous for us also. Sannyasi has no experience of what is grahastha life. For every small reason, there is a fight between husband and wife. And he becomes a guru. And both husband and wife and complain, oh Gurudev, I cannot stay with him. Oh, I cannot stay with her. Then the sannyasi guru would say, very good, wonderful. Oh, it's right time to take sannyas, get out, divorce her. And she says, oh, very good, he's a horrible husband. Anyhow, you just preach Krishna consciousness. Breaking the families. What is this? Sannyasis cannot have any idea of what exactly is family life. They don't know that the wife and husband can have fight for no reason, or they will have a fight for reason to fight, because without fight they cannot spend. They cannot have any. There is no time pass. How is the time pass in the house without fighting? So this sannyasi doesn't know. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. You stay in the house. Amar Agya, it is my order. You become Guru. Guru Atare Desh. Preach Krishna consciousness is a responsibility of the grahastha. Now, then if you do this thing, that means if you chant holy names and read Bhagavad Gita, number 3, you preach the Bhagavad Gita and you become a guru by preaching Bhagavad Gita. If you do these 3 things, then the verse comes, Kabuna Badive Tomara Vishaya Tarange. Kabu na badibe, the Vishaya Taranga, that is, the waves of material existence, will never affect you. Now, a very powerful line. I'm going to end the entire class with this one line. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Oh my dear Kurma Brahmana, what did you say? You want to come with me? I am telling you, if you preach Krishna consciousness, if you chant the holy names of the Lord, if you read Bhagavad Gita and preach Krishna consciousness, what to speak of you coming along with me? I will walk along with you. Punarapi, Thani, Pape, Mora Sangha. Mora Sangha, you will get my association. You'll get my association means wherever you walk and go ahead and preach Krishna consciousness, I'll walk with you. You don't come with me. I will come with you. I will come behind you, holding your books when you go and preach, do book distribution. I will come with you with the mic and the phone when you go and give lecture in somebody's house. So preach Krishna consciousness. Don't think of going to that forest, this forest, buying flat in Vrindavan, buying bungalow in Vrindavan. Chota sa kutia, Prabhuji mare kutia mein aaye, Vrindavan mein liya hai. Now you go and see it's a bigger bungalow than in Bombay or Delhi. So this kind of vairagya is actually not recommended by Chaitanya and in our sampradaya. What vairagya is? Just use everything in Krishna's service. Everything in Krishna. Manasa, deha, geha, jokichumor, arpiyutuva. Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not say Manasa, deha, geha, jokichumora, tyagilut. I give up. He did not say give up. He said arpiyu, offer. So this is what is the power of engaging your abilities, intelligence, and assets in Krishna's service. So Brahmanyadaya karmani sangam tikva karotiha lipyate na sapapena padma patra vivambasa. This verse talks about Krishna having lotus feet, Krishna having lotus navel. Now, devotee also has a lotus leaf. What is that lotus leaf? Padma patra iva ambasa. Brahmanya, since he is offering everything to Krishna, Manasa, Deha, Geyamo, Jokuchamo, Arplitumapte. Since he's doing that, he's in water, material world, but dry. Water cannot do anything. Even the water falls in the lotus feet, water just rolls down in droplets. I don't know how many of you have seen this thing. Only I'm a villager. We are swimming in the pond in the village. Lotus flowers are just like that. Lotus leaf. We used to put water on the lotus leaf. The water just flow down. You took the lotus leaf down and put it up. It is dry within a second. So that is the power of Krishna consciousness. So we stop here. Any questions, please ask.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was a wonderful class. Thank you so much for sharing the wonderful realization with us. I request devotees, please unmute your microphones for any questions or realizations to share.
You have to unmute first.
Hare Krishna, am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavanam, Prabhuji. Thank you for very enlightening class, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, you mentioned one thing that opulence is given by Krishna and opulence is got by karma. So how can we distinguish between them, Prabhu? Like if something comes, then how can we distinguish? Is it given by Krishna or is it done by karma?
Generally, the opulences what we get are the opulences because of our karma. And when somebody starts practicing pure devotional service, there are certain opulences which Krishna himself gives. So, Priyavrta is beyond all the situations. There's actually practicing pure devotional service. So, he got this kingdom as a special request by Krishna. So the first thing is to start practicing pure devotional service. If you don't practice pure devotional service, if you're doing karma mishra bhakti, that means you still have attachments and then trying to do, then Vishaya Tarangas will come, affect us. So we are talking about the platform where when practicing pure devotion service. So there is something called Karma Mishra Bhakti, where these days most of them are trying to do Karma Mishra. But that is going to not help you in any way of getting out of Vishaya Taranga. It will give you some Sukruti, but you should practice pure devotion service. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. There are no questions, we can stop here.
Thank you,
Hare,
Prabhuji.
Hare,
Very nice, beautiful class. Very nicely you explain everything. So that's why there is no question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji. Do you have time for one question, Prabhuji? Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class. You explain all the minute details also, how we can practice, and it's so inspiring. So, Prabhuji, my question is about women. Okay, men can take sannyas, but women is always told to live with a husband or son or father. So what is, I mean, so in that sense also in Smriti, if we see the Vedas, women is considered to be lower birth, and I'm thinking whether really women can attain that level of attachment to the Lord, having always being in the family and so many things. So I mean, attachment to the Lord, that one can attain the Lord at the end of one's life.
Krishna clearly has told in the Bhagavad Gita, Striyo Vaishastha Sudras Epiyanti Paramgatim Kimva Punar Brahmana Punyaha. First, to describe the glory of devotional service, he says, Striyo Vaishastha Sudras Apitu Papayoneha. The very verse where he says Papayone, in that verse he says, Paramgatim, they can attain Paramgatim. So devotion is not dependent neither on Varna and Ashrama, nor on Jati, or Stri Jati, or Purusha Jati, or Brahmana Jati, or Kshatri Jati. It is transcendental. So, for women, they can attain Krishna as much as men can attain. Why? Because, especially women, they can attain Krishna more easily. Especially in the age of Kali, Vyasa Vakyam, this is Vyasa himself saying, devotion is actually a sentiment. Ultimately, though we have a big philosophy, ultimately our philosophy is no philosophy. So it is very natural for women to be sentimental. It is their nature. If they are not women, they are man in a woman's mind. So that emotion, if it is engaged in Krishna's service by proper guidance, they can progress faster. And in the age of Kali, there is only one way, that is bhakti. And bhakti is more easier for women. Vairagya has nothing to do with bhakti. That is what Brahma is teaching. Vairagya, it has nothing to do. What Vairagya has got to do with bhakti is only Yukta Vairagya. Men, on the name of Vairagya, their heart becomes hard. In hard heart, bhakti is very difficult to enter. So, women, they naturally supposed to have soft heart. But these days, because of Western culture, there is a lot of transformation, hard-heartedness has come. This is a fact. So by nature, they are affectionate, and that affection has to be diverted towards sadhu, guru, sadhu, and Krishna, and that can happen very well. I have seen when they are properly guided, the women, they chant more nicely, they serve more nicely, and they have more affection for guru and devotees. When you go for collection for money, build temple, because 3-4 temples have been built under my guidance. Most of the life members are becoming life members because the wife has told, not because the husband. It's a fact. It's a fact. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your, continuous series of lectures and very, very enlightening and always inspiring us to continue in this path with enthusiasm. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna.
Stop here. I got another class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Once again, thank you so much for very enlightening class today, and we are very, very grateful to you. And we look forward for your association again in the future, Prabhuji. Let us pay our obeisances to Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu ji ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.